MotoGP legend gives another strong warning before Mandalika GP to Pecco Bagnaia about Marc Marquez's arrival. Gigi Dall'Igna surprisingly explains why Ducati will be weaker in 2025. Let's discuss, watch until the end. Ducati's general manager Gigi Dall'Igna has expressed concerns about the team being weaker in 2025 without Pramac, but he believes the situation is balanced by having what he calls the best rider ever in Ducati's MotoGP history. This summer, Ducati shocked the MotoGP world by reversing its earlier decision to promote Jorge Martin to its factory team, opting instead for Marc Marquez. Consequently, Martin has signed with Aprilia, while Pramac has announced a satellite deal with Yamaha for 2025. As a result, Ducati will field 6 bikes next year instead of 8, with their factory lineup featuring Pecco Bagnaia, Marquez and VR46's Fabio Di Giannantonio. Dall'Igna acknowledges that losing Pramac will make Ducati weaker compared to its competitors in 2025, yet he feels the advantages of having top-tier riders will outweigh this loss. We were among the first manufacturers to leverage data from satellite teams to enhance our bike, and naturally we'll have fewer chances to do that moving forward, Dall'Igna explained. Other manufacturers have recognized this potential, so that's the reality we're facing. Overall, we are at a disadvantage next season because we'll have fewer riders, but on the flip side, our factory team will likely have the best riders in Ducati's history. Dall'Igna noted that Ducati has not only lost riders but also many technicians to Yamaha, Aprilia and Honda. However, he sees this as motivation to push harder. As the team heads into the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix, Ducati currently holds the top 4 spots in the Riders' Championship, with Pramac's Martin leading Bagnaia by 7 points. So far in 2024, Ducati has won every Grand Prix except one, leaving Dall'Igna feeling very happy and proud of the work we've done. Regarding the potential tensions between Bagnaia and Marquez, Dall'Igna noted that Bagnaia has stated Marquez joining the factory team could either be a great move or a disaster. Dall'Igna agrees with Bagnaia's perspective but remains confident in Ducati's ability to handle any challenges. We had extensive discussions among myself, Mauro Grasili, and Claudio Domenicali to determine the best path forward, he said, reflecting on the decision to sign Marquez, who recently won races for Ducati at Aragon and Misano. We knew we could only choose one rider, and ultimately we're pleased with our choice of Marc. I completely agree with Pecco. They are the 2 top riders in the championship, but they both have very strong personalities, so it will be crucial for us to manage the dynamics effectively next year. But I genuinely believe we can handle this situation, and I hope it turns out to be a fantastic year for Ducati rather than a disaster. Kevin Schwantz has issued a warning to reigning MotoGP champion Pecco Bagnaia, predicting that the Italian rider will face even greater pressure next season when Marc Marquez becomes his teammate at Ducati. Marquez has secured the coveted factory Ducati seat for the 2025 season, joining forces with Bagnaia in what promises to be one of the most star-studded lineups in recent memory. However, the dynamics between the 2 heavyweights will be under intense scrutiny, as both Bagnaia and Marquez are expected to contend fiercely for the title. Currently locked in a tight battle for the 2024 championship, their rivalry is set to intensify when they share the same garage in 2025. It's going to be a super team, no doubt about that, said Schwantz, who claimed the 500cc world title in 1993 and remains one of the sport's most respected voices. But having 2 riders of their caliber in the same team, what kind of feedback will Ducati get with both of them pushing each other like that? It's going to be fascinating to see, one thing's for sure. It will continue to elevate Ducati as a brand, and we'll likely see even more excellence coming from them. Schwantz pointed out that Ducati won't just rely on its factory team, but will also have the support of strong satellite squads. Pramac Racing's Jorge Martin currently leads the MotoGP standings, heading into the Indonesian Grand Prix this weekend, but Bagnaia, his current teammate Enea Bastianini, and Gresini's Marc Marquez are also still very much in the title hunt for 2024. The rivalry between Marc and Pecco isn't something new, it's already brewing this year, and it's only going to spill over into next season, Schwantz said. The first person you want to beat is always your teammate. If your teammate is faster than you, it becomes a real problem. So having someone like Marc in the garage is going to make Pecco's job a lot tougher. It's hard to have a good teammate unless they can't beat you. That's when you get a little more comfortable, but I think Marquez is going to push Pecco every single weekend. Schwantz believes that while Enea Bastianini has occasionally been a challenge for Bagnaia, Marquez will be a much more consistent and formidable force, likely pushing Bagnaia to his limits. Schwantz also weighed in on Aprilia's potential in the coming seasons, especially with the addition of Jorge Martin to their roster for 2025. Ducati's decision to pass on Martin for their official factory team led him to sign with Aprilia, where he will partner rising star Marco Bezzecchi. Aprilia has been impressive in recent years, and now they've got Martin for 2025, Schwantz remarked. Alex Espargaro deserves a lot of credit for how far he's brought the team. Maverick Vinales has also done an outstanding job developing the bike, but now with someone like Jorge Martin, who I think is a bit more driven, a bit faster and willing to take more risks, Aprilia could be a real contender for the championship. Schwantz recalled the Grand Prix of the Americas earlier this year, where Aprilia's bike showed dominant form right from the first practice session. If they can get the bike right, and in my opinion they're already close, it's easily the best bike on the grid, Schwantz said. With Martin in the seat, there's no telling how far they can go. I'm not saying Maverick isn't the right rider, but sometimes it's about having that extra edge, that little bit more motivation. Jorge's got that. Schwantz didn't stop at analyzing Ducati and Aprilia. He also offered glowing praise for MotoGP's new sensation Pedro Acosta. The Spanish rookie has made waves in his debut season, even earning an early promotion to the factory KTM team for 2025 despite a recent dip in form. Pedro Acosta has world champion potential, no doubt about it, Schwantz said with conviction. He's young, he's hungry, and he's not easily rattled. I saw him crash twice in one session, and it didn't faze him. That kind of mindset is critical if you want to be a champion. Schwantz even sees shades of his younger self in Acosta, noting the determination and ability to shake off setbacks as key traits the two share. As long as he keeps learning, improving his speed, and honing his skills, there's no reason why he can't become a world champion one day, Schwantz predicted. With so many storylines developing in the lead up to the 2025 season, MotoGP fans are in for a thrilling ride. Whether it's the brewing rivalry between Bagnaia and Marquez, the rise of Jorge Martin at Aprilia, or the continued emergence of young talents like Acosta, the future of MotoGP looks set to deliver high drama and electrifying competition. Hey MotoGP fans, don't forget to like and subscribe to stay updated with all the latest action.